Hi, good morning, everyone. Today is Monday. Let's start our week with a positive mindset and a thankful attitude. So, before I get myself kickstart, there's a small disclaimer. Basically, today's sharing is my own personal view. Let me introduce a bit of myself. My name is Lily Low, and I start my real estate business since year 2002, and I joined Orange Tea and Thai in year 2015. I have obtained my CHA Common Examination for House Agent certificate since year 2004 and obtained ACTA certificate in year 2014. Okay. I believe all of you have heard from Gary Cheng on last Wednesday sharing, and today I would like to share the breaking down the big topics of leasing into smaller parts, which I will be sharing about on handing over, which will definitely link to some of the clauses in the tenancy agreement. Example, minor repair, filling up of the premises at the end of the lease. So in order to prevent disputes and misunderstanding arises from a handover of a new lease or a lease expiry, I would like to share with you how I do it under today's topics. Leasing Tenancy 101, handling over. Okay, normally after closing rental units, I'll prepare all the necessary documents like tenancy agreement, CA form to be signed by both landlord and tenants. Besides all those documents, I will also prepare a very detailed inventory list. As you can see from my inventory list, okay, there will be the address of the inventory of the property which you are doing the rental, and I will prepare, like I'll go through the whole house. As you can see from these slides, what is in the patio, what is in the master bedrooms, living rooms, kitchen, all those areas. And in my this detailed inventory list, besides putting in the models, the serial number, and even the purchase date, as you can see from here, okay, when do they purchase? Why do we need all this? So that at least we know whether this ceiling fan, the warranty is still valid or not. And I even prepared some of the manuals to be given to the tenants so that tenants will know how to operate all those appliances. And for the keys, under these slides, okay, how many sets of keys, access cards, whatever things for this whole unit to be passed it to the tenants also. So it's all very detailed. And why do we need all this? Why do we need all this? Can anybody answer? Okay, just in case any of the item breakdowns, landlord have to go all the way down to see what's happening, or they will say, agent, can you please help me to go down and see what's happening and what is the model of this? We take example, washing machine. And how heavy is it? How big is it? All these things. So normally I would say, oh, no need. I'll just, from my inventory, I just withdraw it out and I see, oh, our current washing machine is this model, how many kg, all these things. So I will told landlord all these things. So now, landlord, would you want to get it repaired or replaced? So it's how we negotiate and how we discuss with landlord. So landlord will feel very impressed with us that, oh, this agent is very professional. Everything is listed down already. And it makes our works much more easier and simple, rather than little thing we have to go down to the units, all this. So that's why some of the agent find that doing rental very troublesome. Little thing, tenant call, landlord call, we have to go down, we have to go and see all these things. No, it's not troublesome. It's part and parcel of our work, even though we do understand that under CA rules and regulation that once tenancy signed, okay, agent's duty is already no longer there. But don't forget, all these customers, it will become our freehold friends, and they will refer more and more customers to us. So we have to do our extra services to them, provide extra services to all the tenant and the landlord. I do have a few cases that I do have a co-broke agent with me for certain property, but in the end, those tenants don't use their own agent anymore. They will engage me as their agent. Even landlords have their own agent, and I only a co-broke agent for the tenants. But the landlord in the end also use my service because they find that all my items is very detailed, and I also provide all the full services. Even the lease is like 1 year, 2 years, that kind of thing. Little thing they call me, I will just help them to solve so that landlord is free from all these troubles. Okay. Once I have prepared all this inventory list, I will walk through with landlords all the items, and then I will preempt the landlord, say, okay, you know that before the tenant move in, there will be a 30 days free period for the tenant to check, make sure that all the items are in working condition. If anything breaks down, so landlord, you want to repair or you want to replace, just let me know. And the whole cost will be bear by landlord because it's the free of 30 days period. But over the other side, when I walk through with the tenants, I always preempt the tenant, say, you only got 7 days to check all the items, that make sure that it's all in working condition. Because whatever thing break down, there will be a minor repair clause kicks in after the 7 days. So based on the tenancy agreement, the minor repair clause amount can be ranges from $100 all the way to a few thousand, depends on your units, depends on all the inventory in the units itself. Some very costly. So I always tell the tenant, please take care of all my items because landlord really take good care of all the items. So you also take good care because if not, anything goes wrong, anything break down, is based on per item, per repair, or per replacement, and not a few items lumped into one, the access goes to landlord. No. So always preempt them so that tenant will take care of all the items also. So once comes over to all these things, if there's, I show you the next slide. Okay, you can see the remarks below. Okay, if let's say tenant got any concern, any issue, okay, I will just pen it down on the remarks. If nothing, I just cross off the remarks area. Over here, I just cross it off. Okay, then we'll just go through and say, okay, we have checked and inspected all the furniture, fittings, and appliances. Because when tenant comes in, I will turn on all the aircon, sorry, the fan or whatever things, whatever items in the units, I will turn it on to let them try that water heater is hot, the cooker, whatever thing is working, the fridge is in working condition, the aircon is cold, all these things. So that everything okay, is all in good and satisfactory working condition. We'll put a date there, tenant will sign and pen down the date also. So that within, we all go through it, so we still got 7 days for the tenant to go through to see minor little things, any problem or not. Then tenant will get back to me. If there is, then I will discuss with landlord to see whether should we get it changed or should we get it repair, that kind of things. And because some of the items still under warranty, so we probably can arrange for the handy technician people to come in and take a look. So besides inventory list, okay, this whole inventory list is very detailed. I also take photos on all the individual items also to attach together with this inventory list, so that we already see all the items is in all this condition. Okay. Besides this, I also have another one so-called inventory reports. Okay, this is a property condition features inventory. As you can see, this picture here, there's a 2 rivet screw on the wall. So we take like the lease expired 2 years down the road. We have a joint inspection together with landlord. Landlord will say, Lily, these 2 rivets on the wall, tenant did not remove. Please ask tenant to pay or get it done. Then I'll say, oh, Mr. Landlord, this rivet is over there before the tenant moved in already. It's all shown in this condition picture report. Then landlord will say, oh, okay. So they will not claims against the tenant. And for this one, you can see there's a little patch on this glass panel. So I took picture and I even put in the remarks here so that landlord is aware. So these are the minor things which I suggest that we as an agent, let's do a proper job, get all these things prepared and done, so that 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, there's no issue. And even, okay, 2 years already, the lease expired. This current tenant do not want to continue renewing with us. The new tenant comes in, we just need to change the name over here, okay? The tenant's name, the dates of handover, all this we just make a changes only. The picture, all this, we need to make some amendments, we just make, or additional, we just insert in. So it makes our work so much easier. So you don't keep on doing the same thing. So it will continue and it will be easier for us to hand over to the new incoming tenants also. So this is a proper property condition pictures report, because picture can tell us a lot of things. Like for example, this one, the glass door handle to the patio, TS means patio lah, is a bit loose already. So sometimes landlords can be very kind, but some landlords can be very nasty. Little thing they say, hey, tenant did not do good, tenant this and that, I want to deduct from the deposit, all those things. So when it comes to deduct deposit, tenant not happy, landlord making noise, we as an agent in the middle, we're also facing a lot of problems. So we want to have a smooth running to hand over to the new coming one or the existing one, all these things. We want everything to move smoothly. So as an agent, we must always be cool, calm, and listen first. Try to understand where they come from. Try to solve their issue. So it also make our work easier. And then landlord also appreciate, tenant also appreciate. Then they can recommend more business to us also. Okay. Besides this, okay, I also have a property condition report based on words. Okay, you can see here PS. Okay, PS for the wall is fair. Why I say fair? Why I don't say good? Because this coat of paint probably is already 2-3 years down the road already. It's not brand new. So I put fair, and I also put stain marks at this area, that area. So it will be easier. It's just a sample here. So if let's say as an agent, you have more time, you can do a more detailed. For me, I do a very detailed, but I did not show in this slide still. I just cut part of it to show it to you. So like floor type marble, very good. Because sometimes you can see marble got patches here and there. Then it will indicate, oh, marble patch here in the dining room or what. So that when it comes to 2 years, 1 year lease expired, when you do a joint inspection, then suddenly landlord, sorry, hey, Lily, you see there's a patch there. Tenant did not take care. They dropped some things inside, so like that. So we have all this report to as a support to tell landlord, say no, it's already there already. So it's not fair to claims against our tenant unless additional things come up besides this condition report. Then we'll see case to case basis and try to solve everything happily. So from the condition report behind, we do have some general observation or comments to be put inside. For example, my tenant requested, Lily, I would like to mount a 60-inch TV on the wall. Can it be done so? Yes, but please reinstate back to the original condition when hand over back to us. So these are the things where they have, I will always put inside and make sure that everything is back to original condition. And if let's say when they mount such a big TV, there's a lot of holes there, they have to patch up and paint it up back to me also. So these are the things where when I discuss with them, I'll normally write inside it. And then landlord, tenant all sign. So they will not say, oh, I did not say this, I did not say that. So I'm very happy doing rental units. Know that I face a lot of problems. I see a lot of problems here and there, but I'm still very happily, very stable to settle all the issues. That's why my landlord, sometimes they are very comfortable. Even they are in overseas, they trust me 100%. They leave it to me to handle everything. And I also do all the little minor things for them, running here and there. Sometimes I even go down to the units when handyman comes down and do, I will still go down. Unless I'm very busy, then I'll get handyman to liaise with me on the phone. Then after that, once they finish doing, I'll call the handyman, say, before you leave, give me a call. Tell me what it's all about. Then pass the phone to the tenant. I'll check with the tenants. Make sure that everything is in good condition. Like recently, I came across one ceiling leakage on the water heater. All right. So the tenant get the handyman to arrange from the corporate agent to get it done, but they cut the ceiling board. Okay, they cut the ceiling board to change the water heater, because it's a gallon tap. But after that, they close up the hole. They did not patch up. They did not do a coat of paint. So tenant show me the photo. Hey, the handyman left already without doing all these things. So I called the co-work agency. So and so, your tenant, your handyman do it, and then they left without patching up the place. So please find out, are they coming back to repair back the place? If not, I don't want in the end your landlord claims against us. So the agent said okay, but as of today, nothing has been done yet. So I still show in black and white to the agent, say that okay, you are aware that this thing has not been done. Okay, when the lease expires, please don't claim against us. So unless you confirm that your handyman is coming back again. So all these things you must put in black and white, so that when 1 year, 2 years, we tend to forget, because we have so many properties to handle. We tend to forget a lot of things. Too many properties to see, to remember. So everything pen in black and white. Okay, that will be easier. So there's no argument also. So besides the inventory list, those photographs taken, as well as the condition reports, I do have another one so-called sample of pre-inspection checklist. Why do we need a pre-inspection checklist? Okay, this pre-inspection checklist is either for handover, means the property lease expire, they're not going to carry on, they're going to hand back to us, or they want to continue renewing, but 1 year, 2 years, we still need to check and go through, make sure that small things spoil or got problem, we get it solved, rather than they continue renewing another 2 years. So total is 4 years. 4 years, the thing may be even worse and the amount even bigger. So normally with this pre-inspection checklist, I'll go down to see, oh, any problem, where is it? Then I'll list it down on this pre-inspection list, like based on the balcony, living room, dining area, kitchen, bedrooms, toilets, all this. I'll just list it down and tell the tenant, say, please get all these things done. And when are you going to get it done? Please let me know. So normally I will just jot it down so that I will do a follow-up also. Like recently, I got one renter at Yishun. Okay, the kitchen, they did not take good care, so the water has been going into the kitchen, so the food all has been rotten already. Okay, erosion, all these things. So we need to get it done. So I've been chasing the tenant. When are you going to do it? Because if you don't do it one day, when the lease expires, your deposit may not get back, because we will use it to offset all these things. So it's not worth it. So jolly well, please get it done and come back to me. Then because they say, oh, the excuse is because of COVID-19, a lot of handymen cannot come, this and that. So I even hand over to them, this handyman can do a good job. Please liaise with them yourself. So I'll do a follow-up. So then after I'll feedback to my landlord. So, oh, they're in the midst of doing all these things. I will take photo and show them also. So landlord will be very happy, because landlord is overseas. They trust a professional that we will do a follow-up all these things. Then after the property will be handing back to us to do, carry on. Then we also don't want to have problem. And then the next tenant comes in, oh, this one no good, that one no good. Then they don't rent a house. We also got no commission to collect. Okay, so this pre-inspection checklist is very good. So after that, we also expect the tenant to say, okay, when you don't want to continue, please do a professional cleaning of the apartment, including inside of the cabinet, the shelving, all these things, and also the last service of the aircon with receipt. And we prefer them to do the last aircon servicing at the last month, within the 30 days, so that when we hand over to the new tenant, it's still considered clean up ready to hand over to the new tenants. And then for the curtains, if there's a curtains in the unit itself, we make sure that it's a dry cleaning with the receipt to show it to us. Then we'll ask the tenant, say, okay, when will you hand over to us? So we have a date. So we arrange the landlord, agent, landlord, and the tenant to go down together to do a pre-inspection to make sure that everything is okay before handover, so that the deposit will be refundable back to them within the 14 days after the lease expire, or on the same day. It depends on how kind is your landlord lah. Okay. Then the other one would be the tenant will say, okay, I will get all these things done, because 2 months before the lease expire, we already do all this follow up. So this checklist we go down and we make an appointment to check and tell them, say, okay, get all this thing done. So when the lease expire the day, give me a date, then I'll come and join inspection. So sometimes landlord don't even have time. He say, Lily, please go and do it for me. I trust you. You can do everything for me. So if I go down, I find anything not good, I'll just take photo and send to WhatsApp to landlord, and then I will make sure that call landlord immediately and say, hey, this is the issue. So how? Let it go or what? Then landlord will say, okay, just let them know that the deposit or refund 14 days or within the 14 days because I need to go through one more round. So I will walk through together with the tenant first. Then I will tell I will empathy the tenant, say, okay, don't worry. Let me go through with you. Okay, any problem, I just write it down. And then I will get my landlord to come in because my landlord is very busy, So let me come back to you once I talk to my landlord, discuss with my landlord. But over the other side, landlord already give us the 100% to go through or to decide what we're supposed to do. So indirectly, I'm respecting landlord to say, okay, let me go through with the tenant first, then I come back to you. So that we are landlord's agent, so we have to protect landlord's interest. But the other side, we also want to cool down the tenant by saying that, like that. So it depends on how we do, because we don't say, because I'm a landlord's agent, so I will tekan the tenant. No. Okay, we have to be very fair because we don't want the tenant to feel angry or bad. Then if you are happily helping them to settle, they are willing to cooperate with us. 100%, trust me, I've been doing it many times. Then over landlord side, I'll tell landlord, say, hey, sometimes it's fair wear and tear. Okay, because as you know that this property is so long and some of the items are so bad. So indirectly, because when you go through with landlord, you preempt the landlord about all the property things. So landlord more or less also know that, keep on renting out to tenants. Sometimes you face this problem. It's okay, doesn't matter. We'll just get it rectified or get it repaired. So it will make our work so much simpler and easier and happy ending also. Okay. So besides all the reports, all these things, there are a few points that I would like you to take note. Start with monthly payment of rent. So normally the TA, we do put in the landlord's bank account so that tenant can zero to the landlord's account every month smoothly without any hiccups, without any delaying. Okay, but before I pen down this tenancy agreement on the date, for example, this tenant take up this lease on 1st August. So every month on the 1st or before the 1st, tenant has to zero the amount to landlord's account. Okay, but don't forget, some of the tenants, their salary don't come in on the 1st or on the 28th of every month, that kind of things. They may come in on the 5th or they may come in on the 20th of the month. So normally I will ask tenants, say, okay, your rental is on the 1st of every month. Is there any issue, any concern which you want to bring up? Then tenant will say, oh yeah. If tenant say no issue, then very good, I happily move on. But if tenant say, yeah, I do have issue because my pay don't comes in on the 1st. My pay only comes in on the 5th. Is it okay that I pay on the 5th? Then I will say, okay, let me talk to landlord. So I'll tell landlord, you know, some of the people's, their salary don't come in on the 1st every month. They come in on the 5th or either on the 20th. Okay, so is it okay that we allow them to zero to you every 5th of the month? Okay, but in the list, we still kicks off on the 1st. Your list rental supposed to be on the 1st. So you end on the 31st of the last day of that month. But it's just like the rental comes in on the 5th. Then I'll pen it down in the tenancy agreement. Why do I do that? Because if landlord forgotten, then I will say, hey, your tenant did not pay money. Then I want to charge interest. You know, in our tenancy agreement, there's a 10% interest charge per annum, or depends on how many days late, the kind of things. So it might not be fair and they might not be happy staying together. So I will pen it down and say that, okay, always on the 5th. So please, once you zero already, take a photo and WhatsApp to landlord or WhatsApp to me lah, that kind of thing. So as of today, I still receiving every month my tenant after zero to the landlord's account. They will just take a snapshot of the zero on the bank account, the amount to me. Then I will forward to the landlord. Why do they do that? Because landlords supposed to check every month, but sometimes landlords are too busy or overseas, they tend to forget. But with this little thing which tenant do it and send it to me, I just send it over to landlord. Landlord is aware that, oh, the rental comes in. So landlord is very happy that practically every month the rental comes in very smoothly, no hiccups. Only once I ever encountered once is that tenant overlooked, forgotten to pay. So my landlord also overlooked without checking it, because very common, every month they come. So one day, landlord comes and says, Lily, this tenant did not pay this month rental. I said, oh, is it? Let me call and check what's happening. That's why if landlord is aware and inform me, I'll call and find out from the tenant, what is the problem? Can I help? Then tenant will say, oh, no, I overlooked because I was overseas, that kind of things. Then I told tenant, say, if you are overseas, you cannot pay in time, please let me know earlier so that I inform landlord. Or please pay earlier before you leave Singapore or for your holiday, all these things. So that we so-called mutual trust. Then in future, when you want to carry on renewing, landlord will renew with you also. So these are the minor little things that sometimes we overlook or we just couldn't be bothered. Just take note and then try to find out. And then sometimes if let's say they got late payment, all these things, then we find what's happening. Is there any issue, any concern or not? So that we can also talk to them, not say they're having some issue, but don't worry, I will do a follow-up. I'll make sure that they're okay, because all the while they are okay. Maybe because this month a bit tight or what, that kind of thing. So we will try to make sure that everything is happily settled. Okay, come to security deposit. As you are aware that security deposit under clause 2B is refundable free of interest within the 14 days after the lease expired. Some of the tenants say, oh, I have the deposit. Can I offset my last month rental because I don't want to pay my rental? Then I will tell them, say, oh, tenant, please refer to your tenancy agreement under clause 2B security deposit. This security deposit is to be refundable within the 14 days after the lease expires without offsetting your last month rental. Okay. Then also, because when we do joint inspection, in case anything goes wrong or anything break down, okay, landlord can use a deposit to offset to get the things repaired, and the whatever balance will be refunded to you. Then the tenant will say, hey, then not fair, because landlord suka deduct here, deduct there, then end up my deposit supposed to be, for example, it's $2,000, then I don't even get a single cent. Then I said, don't worry, my landlord is not that unreasonable. Okay, before that we'll do a so-called like joint inspection. We already told you all these items are not in good condition. Fair wear and tear we can excuse that, but certain things because due to tenant's negligence. So tenant, you got to do back to us. If not, then too bad. We'll get our contractor to assess and tell you how much is it. So once the thing done, we'll deduct from there. We'll show you all the receipts also. So we have to be fair. Okay, there's not everything is in transparent. Not because my landlord chao ka, no money, so want to deduct your deposit so that you get nothing. No such thing. So I always assure them, make sure that they are happy, they don't feel like being cheated, that kind of things. Okay, come to the minor repair clause, as we already mentioned earlier. Okay, this minor repair clause in the TA, it can be ranges from $100 all the way to a few thousand, depends on your property, depends on what are the appliances inside the unit, whether very expensive or the furniture very costly, all those things. So when it comes to the tenancy agreement to put in the minor repair clause amount, normally I will just discuss, say, landlord, 250 or 200, is it okay for you? Landlord say, you decide. Normally landlord will say, Lily, what do you think? I said, okay, now everything also inflation, everything also expensive. We put a range, 200. What do you think? Then we see what tenant propose. Sometimes tenant say, Lily, 200 too expensive. Can we lower a bit or not? Then we'll try to negotiate a bit here and there. But sometimes I say, no, it's supposed to be 250. But I now give you 200, consider very cheap already. So it depends on how we talk. I saw people say 见人说见人见人讲人话啦，见鬼讲鬼话, that kind of things. So we must know where we come from. No? So we try to make sure everything happily. Then one more thing is like, I will tell them, say, okay, the minor repair clause is per item, per repair, not a few items combined. Then you pay the minor repair clause. The balance access comes to landlord. No, it's per item. Let's say this item, we talk about water heater. Water heater is $200, $300 repair or change a new one. So my landlord only paid the $100 access. The 200 still belongs to the tenant because under the minor repair clause amount we put as 200. So it's per item. Let's say now, this tenant's, the house is washing machine and the water heater breakdown. So you say, oh, I only need to pay 200. The access goes to landlord. No, the water heater 200, the washing machine another 200. So it's per item, per repair, or per replacement cost. Okay? Now, under point 4, we talk about stamp duty. As all of them are aware that stamp duty need to be stamped, okay, within 14 days of the tenancy signed by both tenant and landlord. If not, there'll be a fine for late stamping. Moreover, this stamp duty is bear by tenant, not by landlord. Tenant have to pay the amount for the stamp duty. So normally I'll tell them, say, even let's say for example, you represent tenant, you will do the stamp duty for them. But if you represent landlord, then stamp duty is your direct tenant who comes in without any agent. You as an agent, you will help the tenant to do the stamp duty. And over stamp duty, you can always get our office admin girl to help us to do, but there's admin charge of $10. So must inform your tenant first. Okay, there will be $10 charge. So additional, besides your stamp duty fees, you plus another $10 more if you don't want to do it. But if you do it for them, then there's no admin charge. It's free, you only charge them the stamp duty fees only. So always get it stamped within the 14 days. But if let's say your corporate agent is doing it for you, always remember to chase them for a copy of the e-stamp cert. Make sure that they did stamp for you. But some agent, they say they will do, but they've forgotten to do. So chase them. That is important for stamp duty. Okay, the formula for calculation of e-stamp fees, example, the rental is $1,000 per month for 1 year lease. 1 year lease is 12 months. So the formula will be 1,000 times 12 months times 0.4%. This 0.4% is given by IRS. You can always go into the IRS website to check the e-stamp fees calculation. So it comes to $48. For example, this rental, when you work out, is 48.5. So normally we know that 0.5 will bring up to $1, become $49. No, under IRS it's always $48. They don't bring up to add one more dollar. They will bring it down, always roll down to $48. So if it's a full lump figure like now, this 1,000 times 12 months is $48, then okay. If there's a point, decimal point, always bring it down. So instead of 49, become 48. So if it's a 2-year lease, then you times 24 months, times 0.4%, it gives 96. So where can you find it from, or where can you get the e-stamping done? Log into iras.gov.sg. Okay, then you may log in to this IRAS website. Under the property, under property professional, there's a related, okay. Then from there, you go to the e-stamping for property. Then you come into the e-stamping property portal. As an agent, you can always log in under non-login services to do the e-stamping on behalf of your tenant. Okay. So far, any question you want to share, we can share end of the lesson. Okay. So before we end our class, here I would like to recap some of the money where in the property transaction that agent can handle. Okay, I realize that a lot of agent likes to, tenant or say, oh, I got no checkbook, I don't want to buy cashier order because cashier order got to pay $5 more. So I pay you cash. Agent very happily accept the cash or agent said, I use my own check to issue to my landlord or whatever thing. No, as an agent under CA guideline is we as an agent only certain things we can handle, certain things we are not supposed to handle. So we're talking about money in property transaction, in transaction that agent can handle. Okay, lease of private property. What are the things we can handle for lease of private property? That is valuation fees if there is. Okay, then commission. Okay, stamp duty fees, rental deposit, monthly rental for private property. But as you can see from the list of HDB property over here, agent can only handle commission. This commission belongs to agent, so agent can handle commission in cash, and also stamp duty fees. But rental deposit, monthly rental in under HDB list, no, agent are not supposed to handle. I came across a few where my tenant don't have checkbook. I also don't use my own personal check because under CA rules and regulations is no, you are not supposed to do that. So I always ask them to say, okay, can you please zero or transfer the money to my landlord's account? Okay, this is my landlord's account, my landlord's name, the bank, and the amount. So once you zero already, please WhatsApp me the slips. Then I will show it to I will WhatsApp to my landlord and tell my landlord, hey, the tenant has already transferred the rental deposit or the monthly rental to you, that kind of things. Please go and check your bank account. So at least we are aware that they really do it before we get them to issue the tenancy agreement. Or sometimes at the same table, when we are issuing the tenancy agreement, then they say, oh, I don't have this and that. I said, then use your handphone, do a zero immediately. That kind of things. Or can you do it once everything has been signed, get it done? Then we will do a handover based on which day, that kind of things. So these are the things where I'll make sure that they get it done by the same day, the same night or so. So always remember, never handle cash on rental deposit or monthly rental on behalf of the tenant under the list of HDB property. Only private property, yes, you are allowed. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see everybody soon